Song. If you want to go to your order of service, the words are right in there. It's called Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. It goes like this: Enter, rejoice, and come in. Everybody. Oh, and please stand. Go ahead and stand up. Let's sing together, shall we? Here we go. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Don't be rejoice and come in. Last one. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Thank you, guys. All right, you may be seated. Welcome to everyone. Everyone is welcome. Everyone look around and see all the lovely faces that are welcome and welcome one another. My name is Tom, and I have the privilege of being the worship associate today. I'm a medium height, medium build, pale skin guy with my signature blue shirt on and wearing a backpack for the backpack blessing. Hopefully you all brought a backpack today. That we'll get to do a little bit later. We have some announcements from Reverend Lora.
Hey, a couple announcements for my community here at South Valley, and also welcome to Murray Baptist for joining us again for our final Sunday together here in the park. We have, my Unitarians have probably noticed, and their hearts have started beating fast, that we have communion. Don't worry, it'll be a Unitarian-friendly communion today, an opportunity for us to really build that interfaith spirit with one another. And of course, it is always optional. There's no forced communion in this community. It's a communion of all people and all souls. So next weekend, we will be back in the sanctuary for a lay-led service with Caitlin and Kate. And then the following weekend, South Valley, we will be gathering back here in the park for our final park service, our water communion. And this year's theme that your worship team has been developing is the ways in which the wind moves the water and brings about change. So I'm excited to be sharing that with you on the 8th. And then the last piece I want to remind you, it's starting to come out in happenings. There is a Unitarian Universalist revival for climate justice that we're going to be collaborating with First Church downtown on, and that is September 28th at South Valley in our building. There'll be workshops that morning and afternoon, and then on Sunday we will have a rousing worship that is shared with congregations across our denomination from east to west coast. So mark your calendars to make sure you're at church that day, and we will see you then. I think that's all my announcements. Anyone else want to remind me of any other announcements that we have? Good. Okay. I'm going to invite you to hear these words of invocation from our beloved saint, Mary Oliver, in Unitarian Universalism, as we get ready to light our chalice this morning. This is her poem entitled, Maybe. Maybe. Maybe sweet Jesus, talking his melancholy madness, stood up in the boat, and the sea lay down, silky and sorry, so everybody was saved that night. But you know how it is. When something different crosses the threshold, the uncles mutter together. The women walk away. The younger brother begins to sharpen his knife. Nobody knows what the soul is. It comes and goes like the water, like the wind over the water, sometimes for days. You don't think of it. Maybe after the sermon, after the multitude was fed, one or two of them felt the soul slip forth, like a tremor of pure sunlight before exhaustion that wants to swallow everything. Perhaps that tremor of pure sunlight gripped their bones and left them miserable and sleepy, as they are now, forgetting how the wind tore at the sails before he rose and talked to it, tender and luminous and demanding as he always was, 1,000 times more frightening than the killer sea. So let us worship and gather with one another as we light our communal chalice. You are invited to stand as you are willing in body, mind, and spirit and say our chalice lighting words. You want to come turn it on? That's fine. Go ahead. Yes.
Let's say our chalice lighting words together. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, for the light of truth, and for the energy of action.
You may be seated. We're going to take a moment just to welcome one another. Let's take some time just to greet one another, especially if you're from Murray Baptist or from South Valley. Find someone that you don't know yet and say hello. I would like to invite our new Director of Religious Exploration to come forward. Many of you met Riley last weekend, but if this is your first weekend back from summer, this is Riley. Welcome again. And we have the opportunity, you can grab the handheld there, to start our school year, our return to the fall with our annual blessing of the backpacks. So if you would like to receive a blessing of your backpack, your purse, your iPhone, your hat, your sunglasses, your shoes, or any other item that you brought with you today that can symbolize a return to something in your life, I invite you to come forward now and either sit here with us or just leave your item here, either on the table or in front of the altar for our backpack blessing. Please. So for those that are still out in the gathered congregation, if you would like to rise, you may do so for the blessing, or you may remain seated. And I invite everyone who's gathered here in the front to just sort of take a look around and see all the people that are gathered close. All the people that are gathered close to give you and spread this blessing. So as a community, we're going to bless all of you, all of our students, our educators, our lifelong learners. I know we have several adults who are beginning new educational adventures this year, and we're very excited to grow and learn alongside you. So here's how the blessing will work. I'm going to say some words, and then I'm going to end those words with, "We've got your back," right? We've got your back. And then you're going to repeat with me, "We've got your back." Because you're not just getting the blessing yourselves, you're blessing everyone around you, right? Okay, so we'll practice it. When you feel excited or nervous or feel any big feelings about starting your learning journey and you want to talk to someone about it, we will listen. We've got your back.
We've got your back.
Perfect. All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. When the hallways are unfamiliar, you are not certain about your classes or where you'll eat lunch today, and you don't know where to turn. Remember, this community is full of people who believe that you are capable of taking on new challenges. We've got your back.
We've got your back.
Oh,
Excellent.
why are you stealing my back so many times?
When you learn things that stretch your mind and make you want to share what you've learned, We want to hear about it. We've got your back.
We've got your back. When you learn things that make you upset or angry and need help figuring out what it means to live in such a complex world, and you are seeking to find your place in it, we are here to work through it with you. We've got your back. We've got your back. When you're counting down the hours until school starts again and want to share your joy, we want to hear it. We've got your back. We've got your back.
When you're feeling unsure about going to school on Monday, we're here on Sunday to feed your spirit and help you get what you need. We've got your back.
We've got your back. When the numbers on the page don't make sense and the project is due tomorrow and it all seems lost, we are here to remind you that what is in your mind and what is in your heart is not represented by grades at the top of the page. We've got your back. We've got your back.
Whether it's your first day of preschool, your second week of 6th grade, your last year of college, or a new year of teaching, we believe in you. We've got your back.
We've got your back.
As you go through school, remember that the congregation of South Valley believes that all of who you are is just right, and you are always welcome here. If you find yourself feeling lonely or need a reminder, close your eyes, hold your keychain, and take a breath. Feel the words we are now saying and believe them. Let's say them all one last time together.
We've got your back. For the educators in our midst, I invite you now to raise your hand in the air so that we can see who you are. Our blessing now specifically turns to you. Words alone cannot communicate the scope and the scale of your charge to illuminate and to inspire minds, hearts, and bodies of those outside your kinship group. Your work is often unseen and underappreciated. The demand on your bodies and vocation has shifted dramatically in the last 5 years. And collectively, we call this out and invite all the challenges and all the joys of the work that you do to be seen, heard, known, and now blessed by our community. We've got your back.
We've got your back. We take seriously the breaking open of your hearts, and we are right here with you in the midst of all of the breaking, and we'll catch you when you fear falling, failing, or otherwise, as if you might just catch fire. We've got your back.
We've got your back.
Always and forever, we've got your back. May it be so, and blessed be. And to seal this blessing, I invite you to repeat after me, and so it is.
And so it is.
And the blessing is sealed. Please return to your seats as you wish. And if you are wanting to go to the playground, Tanu and Zoe are out there too, and they're waving in the back there.
And we have some keychains for you.
Yes, I
Do
forgot
you
the
wanna
most
get them
important
now?
part.
Okay.
Yes, sorry, don't leave
Oh,
yet.
you're good. Okay. So you can
keychain.
take one of these. So there you go.
So as they finish this, let's sing sing the children out. Love prepare me to be a sanctuary, strong and loving, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Oh, did I turn off? Okay. This community, our church, and its many ministries are only made possible by the gifts you give of your time, your talent, and your treasure. We're especially grateful for everyone who pledges monthly and donates online. Your gifts help to ensure that we're able to live our values of love and justice in the world outside. Part of our ministry at South Valley includes sharing our Sunday worship offerings with a charitable organization that aligns with our principles and values. This month, we're sharing with the Utah Food Bank Kids Cafe. For those of you who wish to make a donation directly to Murray Baptist, please connect with Pastor Dusty following worship today. Please join me in reading our offertory words that are in your order of service. We are this church. We are its hands, its heart, its voice. this community and sustain it with our gifts. We'll now accept the offering, which when we're in the park is online only. So at this moment, I want to give everyone the excuse to stand up and rescan the code if you need to, or maybe Melissa can hold it up and show it around. If anybody needs to rescan the code, please do so. And there's a link in there where you can give online. And while we have a chance to do that, we're just going to sing again, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. So let's sing it all together a few times through. Ready?
Well, good morning, everyone. And I am so grateful to be here with you in the park one last Sunday, but I wanted to let you know a special announcement. I will be planning to reserve Murray Park Pavilion 1 for Murray Baptist Church next August, and I think we'll just make a tradition of it, because I have had so much fun, and I really appreciate all of you for letting us come and enjoy this space. And so when Reverend Lora said that I would get to do communion, I am deeply honored. And I hope that you will find this to be as meaningful as it has been for me. Communion is the oldest Christian ritual, one that has united Christians from the first days of the movement. Its pieces are simple: bread, wine, and prayer. But the simple ritual has brought countless generations of people to God and made them feel one with the sacrifice made by Jesus. It brought them into that same room where he sat with his disciples before he died, and where he sat for one last supper, knowing what was to come. Both Paul and the Gospels tell that night with remarkably similar language, enough that we can imagine it going something like this. That night, Jesus took bread and wine and said, "Take and eat. This is my body given for you. And take and drink. This is the blood I will shed for you." In several hours, I will be dead. I have lived my life in a way such that the powers of the state and religious leaders will take my life. Soon I will no longer be with you, only a memory. But eat this bread, remembering that I died, and someday your body will become food for the earth too. And drink this wine, remembering that I bled. I wasn't a legend. I bled like you. Soon I will be gone. But whenever you eat this bread or drink this cup, remember me. My flesh will be your flesh. My blood will be your blood. I will dwell in you like a lover, and I will be the food that nourishes you. I will rise and dwell among you again, and wherever 2 or 3 of you gather, I'll be there, as if I had risen from the tomb. So eat this bread and drink this wine, and remember that one day you will also rise from the dead. For all I have, I've given to you. We shall be one in God's glorified body, one resurrection. Let us pray. God, send your Spirit upon this bread and the fruit of the vine, that we might remember the life, death, and resurrection of Christ. And let that same Spirit breathe life into us and join us with all the generations who have come before us. Bring us back to that table in the upper room where Jesus first blessed the emblems of his body and sacrifice. Will the ushers please come forward? So for those of you who are gluten-free or do need that option, please come see Elle for your communion. But if not, then you'll come see me and Reverend Lora. We'll start 2 lines. You can just come and turn this way. So please come to the table, for all are welcome and all are children of God. It has been my gift and pleasure to spend this month with you, and I hope that I will see many of your faces next year. Thank you again for sharing with me in communion. It is a deeply meaningful thing that I should do what I consider the central ritual in my faith with all of you. You have stolen a part of my heart, and I am deeply grateful to be in this community. So cheers to a relationship moving forward, and God bless each and every one of you.
It has indeed been a happy occasion to share this time and to welcome all of you from Murray Baptist into our shared space. And I look forward to the traditions going forward. Just have a really short homily for you today because I just was bursting with some stuff. I spent the weekend with the worship team up in the mountains the last couple days, and we had so much fun talking about all the things we could do this year in worship. And one of the things that we noticed was bubbling up among us was a sense of joy. Have you felt that maybe this summer? A renewal of joy, a sense of, like an unclenching? I think it's happened for a lot of us, right? It's happened for a lot of us. Many of us have been gritting our teeth politically for quite a long time. And that's not to say that everyone necessarily agrees or votes or feels the same way about every policy, but there has been, I think, a collective feeling in the zeitgeist on the left of, and then all of a sudden it was like maybe it's not going to be so horrible, right? Maybe this is not the end of America as we know it, right? And what that was bubbling up with us was a sense of, oh my goodness, I actually feel like it's okay to be a little patriotic, which is kind of a strange feeling for many of us who have been on the left for a long time in our world. Like, oh, we can actually be maybe proud to be an American. And what does that even mean? You know, to be proud and to be invested in this project we call democracy over the last 250 some-ish years, right? A little less, a little more. Not really that great at math. I'm the minister, not a mathematician. But it is this sort of place of feeling a sense of liberation again. What I also kind of hearken that back to, though, is that this feeling of hope, this feeling of a joy that returns, is not so much a guarantee of outcome. It's an unleashing of energy. And that reminds me, of course, of Pandora's box, that ancient Greek story. Some people say it was a box, some people say it's a jar. It doesn't really matter. It was a container of some sort. And the story goes that the world was filled with men, and there were no females. And the gods and the humans were a little bored with how much there was no women in the world. And so Zeus decided to create the first woman. And she was named Pandora. And she was made out of clay. And he gave her as wife to Epimetheus. I'm probably mispronouncing that. So, but Zeus being Zeus, a bit of a trickster god, which we're very familiar with in most of our legends, tricked Pandora a little bit and gave her as a wedding gift a box, instructing her never, ever to open it. She was a keeper of something secret in this box. But of course, being a human being, she got curious. So what'd she do? She opened up the box, right? And out came all of these things: disease, pestilence, anger, rage, lust, sex, creation, laughter, humor, joy, and everything, including resentment, revenge, despair, loss, grief, death. All of creation burst forth into the world and started working on humanity and on the planet, right? And the people, they started to complain. Oh, SVUUS, this is so awful. No, we had it so simple. All we had was this sort of blank experience where everything was kind of all the same. And now we have all these problems to deal with. And they began to complain to Zeus and the other gods, and they were not maybe so kind to Pandora, maybe trying to blame her a little bit for just being a human being and opening this box, which of course Zeus wanted her to open because he's a trickster god. And so one day, Pandora, feeling really bad about herself, goes back to the box. She looks inside the box, and what does she find stuck in the wee corner of the box? Hope. She finds hope in the box. And hope never leaves that box, right? Hope stays in that box because it is the essential, enlivening emotion and spirit of the human being is hope. It's not a guarantee of outcome, but it is an invitation to return to life, to participate in creation, and to co-create the world. And I think that is actually what happened over the summer. I think that hope peeked her head out of the box and said, humanity, this game is not over yet. That politics of despair and pestilence and crassness and greed and despair and depression and hate, that's a very strong and powerful force in the world. But it is not hope. It is not joy. And that is the gift that keeps on returning and giving to us. Again, not a guarantee of any political outcome or policy success. We know that living here in Utah, right? The legislature never goes our way, right? It's just a depressing January most of the time. But we have something that the other people who have dedicated their lives to hate and anger do not have. We have hope, which is the most radical, life-changing, and transformative emotion that human beings can have. And it is far more infectious than COVID ever was. And if you're not careful, joy will transform and enliven every part of yourself and make you brand new. And I like to think that that is also at the bottom and that the secret of the communion that we just participated in. It is a reclaiming and a renaming and a re-acknowledging of our essential humanity, of rooting down to what we need most. And what we need most right now to handle and to confront and to change and to take down the empire, such as Princess Leia might have said. What we need now is the tools of hope. We need the tools of hope. And the good news is, you already know how to use hope. You've known your whole life. And hope is best shared collectively with community. And I think that that is a very good thing for us to be participating in with our co-worshipers here of South Valley and Murray Baptist, and expanding that out further and further this fall and into and beyond the election season, because it's not just about, of course, one election. That doesn't matter in the history of the world, though it's very exciting to be electing our first Black woman president. I will just say that. I will not get in trouble for saying that I would be excited if that was, someone was saying, who was saying last night at the worship retreat, if that's the thing that happens, I'm good. I'm good. I can die right now. That's the only thing I needed to see on this planet, was to see a Black woman president of the United States. And so that's the other thing we're going to be lifting up this fall, is this resurgence of femininity. This idea that we can explore and wonder about the true power of the feminine, which lives in every single human body. Lives in every single human body, and is the very thing that we need in order to balance and enrich the world. So it doesn't matter what kind of body you were born in or how that body is changing as you move through and discover your identity, the invitation is the same. To understand that something is happening in our world. It's been happening for a long time, right? But something is happening this summer. Something is happening, and it is our turn to watch, to nurture, encourage, and to celebrate the arrival of wild, trickster, beloved woman into our midst once more. And I think, again, that's exactly what we need. So this morning, I invite you to rest and sit in that. As you're starting your endeavors this fall, be it a new job, a new learning opportunity, even just turning over your garden and getting it ready for winter, whatever it is that you're engaged in that's new, to notice where hope might just be lurking in the corner of your bedroom, under the soil of your garden, or just right in front of you, in the eyes of your beloveds. Let that be enough for today. Blessed be and amen.
Let's sing a closing song. Everyone, you're invited to stand. The words are in the order of service if you want to bring them up. It goes like this. Come sing a song with me. Here we go. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll lead you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of rose and a rose in the winter time. Last one. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Go ahead and stay standing as we extinguish our chalice. Also, congratulations on singing a cappella. Look, you guys didn't even need piano. You guys are amazing. Please say the chalice extinguishing words with me.
Extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, or the energy of action. We
hold each other in our hearts until we meet again.
And receive it now, just this blessing and this benediction as you go forth. May you be well. May you be whole and may you be filled with kindness, knowing that hope is something that you give and share with one another in blessed community. And it is always available, no matter how far in the bottom of that box it may feel. Blessed be and amen, and have a wonderful Sunday in communion with one another.